Mehmet Ogutcu, one of the survivors of Friday's devastating earthquake. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Just take us back to that moment when you first realized an earthquake was happening.
Well, I was at home and never expected something like this because we knew that Turkey is sitting on an earthquake fault line throughout Anatolia, and everybody was expecting earthquake to hit Istanbul first, and Izmir was not on the cards. However, when I experienced it, I couldn't believe. It happened in 30 seconds. The house was trembling, and all the books and ceramics shattering around the house, and we had to rush outside to the street so that we could escape the consequences. However, one thing which I should underline that no matter how well prepared we are, we know the consequences, what's going to happen with earthquake, it is still not enough. Because when it happens, you experience it with your family members, with your friends, with other fellow citizens. So one clear message that I got from this earthquake was you have to prepare yourself, your family, your friends, very carefully in advance. I think this is a message that we should perhaps carry throughout the year without expecting an earthquake to happen. Especially I'm worried about what's going to happen in Istanbul, a city of 17 million people. When it hits the city, the consequences will be severe. That cannot be compared what we experienced in Izmir on a smaller scale. We also had a mini tsunami, never heard of it before. We had such disasters experienced in Southeast Asia. We just watched that on the screen. However, now experiencing it firsthand was a devastating feeling. And I feel that some of the people now under the rubble and debris will be saved. I think the government agency, AFAD, as well as the municipalities are working day and night. We are grateful to them so that rescue and emergency efforts are underway throughout. So this gives some relief to us.
Right.
However,
I definitely think
we have to be prepared well.
Definitely, we do need to be prepared well, and every one of us living here in Istanbul, in Turkey rather, needs to have an emergency bag on standby for situations like this. Mehmet, when it comes to tough situations, Turkish people really know how to unite and come together. There are rescue operations underway at the moment, but how have the locals in Izmir reacted to the aftermath of the quake?
Well, whatever differences we have among us, political differences, ethnical, religious, and whatever. And I think, as you say, Turkish people has a strong tradition of coming together in solidarity with one another. And I felt this very strongly in Izmir among our fellow residents. Also, I think a similar feeling we felt, not only for our Turkish fellow citizens, but also for the Greeks, because the Greek island of Samos was also badly affected by this. And there was a call from the Greek prime minister to Turkish president and vice versa to make sure that Greece and Turkey would work together, whatever their differences are. As you might remember, a few weeks ago, we were talking whether there's going to be a war between Greece and Turkey. However, the earthquake brought us together in a very meaningful, constructive way. Therefore, this is also a message that these natural disasters, calamities, including the pandemic that we are going through, it requires very strong collective effort internationally. No matter what the interests and ideologies and disputes are. And I think this is also another strong message we have to take. Under such circumstances, very strong international cooperation, collaboration is needed. As a matter of fact, actually, despite all the differences we have, other European Union countries and the Middle Eastern countries, they all offered assistance Turkey, and vice versa. Turkey wanted to help our Greek friends across the island. So that's a very important thing, and that means that nations cannot solve these problems alone.
Right.
So international regional efforts are important, but there are some critical steps we have to take, especially about sustainability and resistance of our houses, the building. We saw in Izmir, they were all collapsing, and that's one of the reasons why we had such a scores of people died.
Right.
So we have to learn lessons from that for other possible earthquake that might come in Istanbul, in other cities. Because never forget, we are like Japan. We are sitting on a major earthquake default line.
All right, Mehmet Ogutcu, thank you so much for joining us on the program and sharing your experience with us.